walked 6,000 miles to court Mommy. He figured it up, bagged it forward. And he only had one pair of shoes. And he would put them shoes on him only after he got to the creek near her house. He'd sit down on the bag, wash his feet, and put the shoes on so he'd go see Mommy. That's the truth, you know. I tell you all a bunch of stories, and I swear you all think I'm lying, but I'm not. Somebody said, "You're going to tell that story before again?" I said, "Ain't no story, it's the truth." Well, at any rate, Daddy went to New York. Daddy they decided he could record, and he had tried it in 1914. He had recorded on a friend's old cylinder, old record player thing, and he listened to it, and he said, "I think I can do pretty good with that thing." So he had wrote the song called "The Sinking of the Titanic" and was playing it around country churches and schools and things. And he decided he would go to New York, and he went to West Virginia during this and earned $47, enough to buy him a train ticket to New York, and told Mommy, he said, "I think I can do that." He said, "Well, Dad, blame it, Ernest, if you think you can, go ahead." Because he had heard Henry Witters sing, and he told Mommy, "Yes, that man sings through his nose." He said, "I think I can beat that." He said, "Well, go right ahead and try it." Well, Daddy went to New York, and first he went to Columbia Records, and they didn't offer him enough money. Daddy thought he was worth more than they offered. Then he went to OK Records, Mr. Ralph Peer in New York, and Mr. Peer listened to him and gave him a 5-year contract. And Daddy and Mommy recorded with Mr. Peer for about, 1924 up to 1930-something. You know what happened in 30-something, don't you? The band, didn't it? I'm trying to be nice, really. I try awful hard, because my sister Donna here is a preacher. She goes out and she does all the churches and everything, and she tells me, "Behave yourself, Patsy." I say, "You can go preach all you want to, but I'm going to do a show." Like, you all remember when I told about what I did to my former husband's grave, don't you? Well, I thought Mary Lou would faint right here on the stage. She said, "You ain't going to tell that?" I said, "Yes, I am." How many people remember it? You want to hear it again? Yeah, I'm going to. I embarrass him. He's a deacon in the church in Estill Springs. My sister's a preacher. I don't know what Bob does over there, but you see, I have to carry people along with me to make me behave. But all kidding aside, you know, before my husband Murph passed away, incidentally, Murph and I were married almost 40 years, and I felt privileged that he loaned that much of his life to me. But anyway, before he passed away, he wanted to go visit his grandfather's and grandmother's grave in Massachusetts. And I said, "Okay, let's do that." So we left here and went to Massachusetts, and he visited the graves of his people. And he said to me, he said, "Patsy, honey, he said, always call me Patty Poe. Patty Poe, you still want to do what you promised?" I said, "Yes, I do." See, what it is, I had been married before to a man who turned out to be a real scallion. And I took cancer and lost both my breasts, and I had been plowing, and I was picking cotton and chopping cotton and picking corn. I'd learned to plow. I learned to be an electrician for 12 years. And when he told me, he said, "Anybody that can't carry their own weight, I don't need them around here." And I stood there with my mouth hanging over while he divorced me. I didn't believe what was happening to me. But I looked him in the face and I said, "I'm going to live to pee on your grave." So anyway, Murph and I married, and he knew what I had said. I told him I was going to. He said, "You still want to do that?" And I said, "I sure do." So Murph, before he passed away, carried me to Mississippi, and I peed on his grave. I stood there in that cemetery and looked down at that grave, and I said, "Oh boy, I promised you this, and here it is." I'm embarrassing Donna. You know, I can embarrass anybody if we could try hard enough.
She is not evidence of my ministry, believe me.
Don't blame her for me. Remember me telling you all about the I won't say when. But anyway, when she was born, the first one of
1934.
1934.
Same as Mary Lou.
Yeah, she's the same age as Mary Lou. The thing of it is, it was about the cold. She was born on February the 7th, 1934, was the first child ever born in a hospital. The rest of us was born in the home with Galax. and their first 10, that is. And so at any rate, my mommy come home from the hospital, she had taken the mumps, and it fell in her breast. You know what it's like, you know. And I guess you know, but anyway, you don't know? You wouldn't know, would you? You're not equipped. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, I'm not even. If I say something I should be sorry for, I'm not. At any rate, Mommy came home from the hospital and it was awfully cold and Daddy was off working. He had found a job on a railway mail service and left us kids and Mommy there, and what happened was we had one old pot-bellied stove, and my sister Grace had the fluid moved, and she was over here sick. Mommy was over in a corner. We had beds everywhere, and I sat up with a quilt and Donna in my arms, kept keeping her warm and keeping the stove going to keep everybody going. And when I dozed off when I woke up, and there was Mommy laying in a corner there with a great big rat chewing her eyebrows off. You know, that was bad news, because she lost an eyebrow or two. But anyway, this is the one I held in my arms when it was cold weather to keep her warm.
How old were you, Patsy?
Well, about 9 years old, between 8 and 9. I'm almost 9 years old. She always says almost 9 when she tells people how old she is. I was 81 years old recently. So. Anyway, Daddy took Mommy to Asheville, North Carolina with him in 1926 to do some recording. And I was going to try the song that Daddy and Mommy had done because it had to be one of my mother's favorites and one of my grandmother's. The song, there's words of it says, "Who's going to shoe my pretty little foot?" And I always wondered why Granny would go around humming that, because she had about the ugliest foot in her mom had ever seen. And she always wore Grandpa Frost's old leftover shoes. Where are you, darling? Went to get your banjo?
This guy.
Really?
He
Oh,
can't
how
play the
doggy.
Autoharp, this guy can't.
Keep talking. Keep talking. Anybody want to ask me anything? Keep it to yourself.
Yeah, I do.
What, Donna?
Shut up.
That's not asking me, that's telling me.
Preacher don't know the difference. They tell you.
I ain't gonna bring her no more.
Don't you play banjo also?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit. But I played like my Uncle Boland did. My brother Van played like my mother. You see, when Mommy passed
She
away.
fell in love with the Autoharp, and she really is an Autoharp. And after
I'm
hearing
Autoharp
you all
nut.
today and seeing all of y'all, I didn't know there's that many harpers in the world, Pat. They're great. All
You
of
see,
them.
Daddy used to keep his Autoharp in the case and lock. He laid locks on it. He didn't want us kids to fool it because it's so hard to keep in tune, the old Smith harp he had. And he didn't have no tuners like he had now. He used to tune it, take a D-juice harp, which he had tuned, and tune the Autoharp. And he said, now you young'uns leave that Autoharp alone. But my brothers discovered what you do when they want to get strings or something that Daddy had stored in that little case. They'd take the screws out the back of their hinges, and then just take anything they wanted, you know, and then put the hinges back on, and Daddy never did know they was gone. But how far does she have to go?
I'm here.
I think you all met this lady, but I haven't. She's from Asheville, North Carolina, and she's a drop thumb picker. I think we're in an F. You got it? Yeah, probably F, because about where I go. You know, the older I get, the deeper my voice gets, and it sounds like the next thing you know, I'll be a barroom flute. Let's give her a change to tune. You know, Ronnie used to play the 5-string banjo, but she'd come on stage dragging it behind her. And 9 times out of 10, that was out of tune when she got started. And she'd say, wait, out of tune. And we told her, when you get that thing in tune, we're going to weld it.
She still plays the banjo.
And she's still on the road. You know, how many people have seen Hee Haw? Gosh, more than I thought. You ever see Ida Lee, the iron board lady? Yeah. That's my sister, Ronnie. She's supposed to be here today. She said she's going to come, but, you know, 9 times out of 10, she told me a fib. Well, I kind of look forward to her being here because I want y'all to meet the nut in the house. Daddy always called her his bar, hang on.
Go ahead.
The butterfly, barroom butterfly. Say, what it means is you fly all around the roses and everything and land in the cow dad. Here's one that Mommy and Daddy recorded in August of 1926 in Asheville, North Carolina. Mommy's favorite, called Don't Let Your Deal Go Down. Oh, I've been all around this whole wide world. Been down to Memphis, Tennessee. And the old place that I hang my hat, home sweet home to me. Been all around this wide wicked world, and I've seen most everything. Played cards with the king and the queen, ace, pawn, and the king. I left my sugar a-crying. She was standing in the door. Put her arms around my neck, saying, honey, please don't go. Don't let your deal go down, little girl. Don't let your deal go down. Don't let your deal go down, little girl, until your last old dollar is gone. Hey, Laura. Aha, get her hard to go home. Aha. My pretty little foot. Who's gonna glove your hand? Who's gonna kiss your lily white cheek? Who's gonna be your man? Mama will shoe my pretty little foot. Papa will glove my hand. No one shall kiss my lily white cheek till you come back again. Don't let your deal go down, little girl. Don't let your deal go down. Don't let your deal go down, little girl, until your last old dollar is gone. Don't let your deal go down. Don't let your deal go down, little girl, until your last old dollar is gone. Now take one. Donna, could you hear me? Hey, Laura. Hey, my Lord. Good, huh? Don't let your deal go down, little girl. Don't let your deal go down. Don't let your deal go down, little girl, until your last old dollar. You're so nice. I can take you home with me. I haven't got quite enough room, but you can sleep in the yard, can't you? You know, going back to Gay Lax for 20, how many people have been down to the Fiddlers Convention of Gay Lax? Then you know what my home is like, where I was born. And when we lived there, Daddy lost everything he had in 1932. Of course, 29 kind of fixed us, but 32 finished us. And up until that time, we had just about anything we wanted. We thought the world revolved around us. We had electric washing machine. We had electric curling irons, and Mommy and them used to stand in front of the mirror and just put them waves in their hair and everything, and Mommy was so pretty, and Aunt Jack was too. But at any rate, we'd done all right until the Depression. And I didn't know any different. I thought everybody in the world played music because Granny and Grandpa played and all my aunts and uncles. We thought it was the way you're supposed to do. But then the Depression got us. And when it come and took our house, then it took another house, took the car we had, took another car we had, and when it ended up taking all the furniture and everything out of the house we was in, except one little cot that my mother was on with Scott. Scott was the last one born there. And then we went all the way to Alexandria, Virginia, went around. We moved in with my grandmother, poor old Granny. I bet she almost had a nervous breakdown seeing us coming. All them young'uns, Lord, and she cooked more pinto beans. Pots and pots of pinto beans and greens. Oh, 'cause she was a good cook, though. Almost made it worthwhile. But at any rate, she wanted to take care of us. And Daddy went to Alexandria, Virginia, and Washington, D.C. trying to find work. And he found a job, and he come back, sent a letter to Mommy. He said, Hattie, have the kids and everything ready to go when I get there, because we have to leave right away. Well, Mommy said, okay. So we was waiting for Daddy when he came. We was all trimmed up and cleaned up. He had it cleaned up real good. And Daddy put us in that old car, and away we went, except for one thing. The sheriff met us. And he said, Ernest, I hate to do this, but I got to take your car. Can you picture that? Daddy said, well, I hate it too, so I'll tell you what, you get in the car with us and go over to Galax and we'll take care of this business, then I'll go on to Washington. He said, okay, so he gets in the car and gets to the gap. There was a fence along the line there with a gap in it. And Daddy said, well, you'll have to get out and open the gap for us. And the sheriff was dumb enough to do it. Well, he pulled in, Daddy pulled through the gap and the sheriff started to get in. Daddy said, I hate to do you this way. He said, but honest to goodness, now you're in another county. This fence is a county, Carroll County and Grayson County line. You can't take my car. And he took us all to Washington, D.C. Left the sheriff standing there looking like, huh? But the funny part is, about 4 years ago, they called me and wanted to know if I'd come be the Grand Marshal in the Christmas parade in Galax. And I was going to ride with the sheriff's son. I'm riding along waving to people, you know, and the snow was coming down. I said, you know what, I think I know your father. And I had to tell him about it, and he just stood there looking. He was waving too and looking at me. I said, I think we owe you a little bit. But at any rate, that's what happened. We went to Washington, D.C., and Daddy worked around WARL and WJSV. Incidentally, do you remember Arthur Godfrey? Yes. Do you know that when Daddy first went to Washington, D.C., and he was looking for work, and they found Arthur Godfrey and a couple other guys on top of the roof at the hotel in Washington, D.C., sleeping behind the sign because there's no place to sleep. Everybody was broke. Everybody was hungry. But it ended up everybody got pretty well. You know, Arthur Godfrey, even though he was a little crippled, he done pretty well, didn't he? And in 1956, they had the Arthur Godfrey Talent Scout Show. The family went up there and won it. Wow. Isn't that neat? 1956.
There's only two original ones left, me and Jimmy Case.
Well, at any rate, there was my brother Jimmy, and my brother played bass. Of course, you all sing the singing. I think y'all, how many people have seen the Stoneman Family Show? You haven't? Not, doggone, what's wrong with you? Ain't got no television?
I love Autoharp, but of course Dad played Autoharp.
Yeah, Daddy always played the Autoharp. Anyway, we played Constitution Hall. Years ago, we played Constitution, 1947 and 48. And we didn't know what a television was, all of us young'uns. And we went down and we played Constitution Hall. And some of the kids in the neighborhood, when we got back to us, said, we saw you last night. I said, where'd you see us? Said, on television. I said, what's a television? We didn't know. There's a bunch of hillbilly kids out there picking. And nobody knew. And they chasing Jimmy and Donna around trying to get their autograph, and they thought they was trying to whoop them. She run from them. But anyway, I looked out on the porch on the Sunday morning after the church, and my brother Eddie was scribbling his name down on a piece of paper. I said, what are you doing, Eddie? He said, I'm learning to write my name. You can see how dumb we was. We went through out of more houses than we ever lived in. Do you know that it's a law that if you have to be thrown out of a house, evicted from a house, that they can't evict you after sundown. So that a couple of times, this happened a couple of times on Anacostia Road Northeast, they'd put our furniture out for us. You know, kind of help us live. We'd pack up and they'd set it down. And as soon as the sun went down, we'd move back in. Oh, Donna's too little to remember that. You heard enough about it, I guess. Most of them is too little to remember it, but I can tell it, and I know it. We're going to do another song for you that Mommy and Daddy recorded this in July 27th, 1927 in Bristol, Virginia. It was written by our uncle at Dunford, Mommy's uncle, and our great uncle, and my father, and it's called the Whippoorwill Song. I hope you all remember it. I know you love that F. It's curious. It gets more curious real long. No banjo players or nobody wants to play F, but that's my voice. Friends, that's the voice I've got. I wandered by the wooded rill where evening shadows play to hear the song of a whippoorwill as he sings his evening praise. Oh, listen, whippoorwill, his song, whippoorwill, it goes whippoorwill, along whippoorwill, now play whippoorwill, now play whippoorwill, we hear whippoorwill, it play whippoorwill. Softly trills his evening lay as shadows roll along. The sad feeling upon me comes when I hear his evening song. Oh, listen, whippoorwill, his song, whippoorwill, it goes whippoorwill, along whippoorwill, now brave whippoorwill, now gay whippoorwill, we hear whippoorwill, his brave whippoorwill. It brings to mind that old home so many miles away, and dear old friends that I often fold against his evening lay. Oh, this whippoorwill, his song whippoorwill, it goes whippoorwill, along whippoorwill, now brave whippoorwill, now gay whippoorwill, we hear whippoorwill, his brave whippoorwill. How about that, huh? Take a break, Bill. Oh, this whippoorwill, this whippoorwill, it goes whippoorwill, along whippoorwill, now brave whippoorwill, now gay whippoorwill, we hear whippoorwill, his brave whippoorwill. You're changing, aren't you? Oh, yeah, I'm gonna play the guitar now. Yeah, I decided to do that. Then I'll play you. Somebody that wanted to play a Jews harp number.
I got them to put some songs in here for the Stonemans, the way they were doing their shows, and Patsy with her guitar, you're going to really hear something.
Oh, get out of here, Bill. You're crazy as coot. It's because I know how to play G and F and A, you think I got something. I think I got to stand here somewhere.
Patsy, what was Daddy's name, first name?
Ernest Van Hayden Stoneman. But later on in years, because there was so many young ones, I guess everybody started calling him Pop because we did. I say, here comes Pop Stoneman, all them young ones of his. Nice to meet you. Is that it? What talking about? It's an honor to have you up here. We got another friend over here picking with us too. Everybody knows him. I don't have to introduce him. I said, you're going to play with us a tune or two? And he said, well, I don't know if I don't even know your songs. I said, don't make no difference. Get up here and hit every now and then. You think I should? No, I don't think so. I think I'll stand up to this, but it messes up to you down yonder. Bill?
Take care.
Huh?
Take care.
You'll take care? Okay. Bill is our Sandman. You must all know that. You all know Bill. You know Bill. He's become a big disappointment to me, though, without them shorts of his. You know, how many of you seen Bill in the shorts? Sorry, Bill.
James, you're so shy, Linda.
You sing song. When we was kids, you know, we didn't ever know all the verses to any songs, really. Daddy would sing the choruses with me, kids, sing the choruses. I never forget when I was a little girl, he was singing religious songs. He always did religious songs because his father, my grandfather, was a preacher. And everything we did was either illegal, immoral, or fattening. But he'd come and visit, and Daddy was singing a song, what's the one he used to sing? I always thought he was singing some woman's name. And I get so mad about it. There was a girl in Gaelic, a woman in Gaelic named Olive Vaughan. And Daddy would sing I Live On, and I thought he was singing to that woman. And that's exactly the words I'm saying. He'd say Olive Vaughan, I say Olive Vaughan. But he would say, okay kids, let's go now. We're going to do one called a 9-pound hammer. Oh, somebody stole my 9-pound hammer. Took it and gone. Done took it and gone. Well, roll on, buddy. Go to the cold. How can I roll? Where do we go? Going up on the mountain, going to see my honey. Going to come back, ain't gonna come back. Oh, roll on, buddy, roll the cold. How can I roll? When the wheel won't go around. Somebody to grease my buggy. So the wheels will go. So the wheel will go. Hey. Go, Bill. Oh, one of these days, I'll call it time. Take my grip, go down the line. Well, I want somebody to grease my buggy. So the wheel will go, so the wheel will go. hill. Well, roll on, buddy.
Roll along, buddy.
Don't you roll so slow.
Don't you roll so slow.
How can I roll?
How can you roll?
When the wheel won't go. Let me hear you, Donna. How can I roll?
How can you roll?
When the wheel won't go. Go back there, put on a set of strings. You shouldn't have done that. Don't you know it should never put on a new set of strings? Right? You know, when somebody's out of tune, my jaws ache. How you doing over there, Bob? Y'all know Bob Lewis, don't you? He's got lots of nerve to get up here and pick when he told me I don't know your own song and say nothing I don't either. I don't know how many people have met Bill Rothe. He and his wife, Georgine. When Murph, well, I met Bill and Georgine up here several years ago. I just saw them up here in the crowd. And actually, I wasn't too impressed. But at any rate, when Murph passed away, he was at the hospital. I looked up and there they were. And then after that, I don't remember much because I really didn't remember too much about his funeral. I don't remember Murph dying. I don't remember the funeral. You can tell I ain't got much brain left, can't you? But anyway, I didn't remember. I went into shock. My hair fell out. But there was Bill and his wife, Georgine. They came and they helped me. They took care of my bills and they helped me show me how to do the bills because Murph had taken care of everything for the last few years. It kind of left me at the odds with nobody to help me. But not only that, I have a few acres to mow, and the grass goes down there fast. It goes fast, don't it, Bill?
It is. Georgine too.
Yeah, and Georgine and Bill come up there every week, and they've been mowing my yard ever since. I said, "How much do I owe you?" He said, "You don't owe me nothing." And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I'm doing the Lord's work." I said, "Keep it up." Ain't I awful? But they're the finest people in the world. Georgina, where are you? Stand up and take a bow. She's my favorite. And you know what? To show you what kind of a person that, well, everybody knows what Mary Lou was. But before this happened, she sent me a book. It says, "There are angels among us." And she said, "Patsy, this is you." I don't know if your family knows it or not, but there's an angel in their family. And so when I told her what Bill and Georgine was doing, she said, "Don't you know who sent them to you?" I said, "Murph sent you the angels. They're my angels, Bill and Georgine." Does that make you feel? Take your halo off and sit down. How much time we got left? We got 5 minutes. Is that all? You got 10 minutes, okay. Okay. Oh, I see the clock down there.
Older people are like babies, like children, they say anything.
I never did whip her. I have never spanked that young one. Some of my brothers I did spank. I have to be frank with you. Mommy would take a switch to us. Actually, Donna learned to dance because Mommy had a switch in her legs. But anyway, I want to show you what she can do on the mandolin. Get back to C, and we're going to do this on C. We're going to do it on the double eagle because we got 10 minutes. Got 10 minutes, all we got. Okay, y'all ready? Try C. This is one called Under the Double Eagle, and watch out. time they went to the Grand Ole Opry, they had tore the house down. They got standing ovation, but they didn't know what they'd done. They went back to the stage and backstage and put their guitars and things away, and there's still people standing up hollering more. And Hank Snow said, "Get them folks back out here." So they came back out and doubled up to do the whole song all over again. They didn't know what to do. But then when Hank said, "We'll have to have them folks back again, won't we?" You know, I had a kind of feeling it was a death knell. Donna wants to do one because we're going to do a gospel number.
That's what we have done.
We're going to do "I'll Fly Away in Thee," okay? So.
She's going to be here till Sunday afternoon when everything's over, so be sure and go visit her. She has a performer's table. It's right with me and John back there, about in the middle of the vendor area, lots of books, CDs, and things like that, and she's always happy to visit and talk with you all. Okay.
She was teaching somebody the juice harp in the back, so.
I think it's D, ain't it? You know, my daddy tuned the juice harps. You know how you tune a juice harp? You file these down to where you get the sounds you know. Can you do this to carry these? Let's go then, G. Ain't she sweet? Smile and show everybody your teeth. Hand them to me and I'll show them to you.